The Southern African Development Community, SADC, will be meeting on the 17th to the 18th of April in Luanda, Angola, to discuss security in the Democratic Republic of Congo. In a statement released on Monday, Amnesty International said SADC appears to be one of the few remaining organs that President Joseph Kabila and his government are willing to engage with. Therefore, it must demonstrate the political will and commitment to address the dire humanitarian situation in the country up front. It should be noted that last Friday, the Kinshasa authorities boycotted and campaigned against the first ever high-level international conference on the DRC, which raised over $500 million for emergency humanitarian assistance to more than 13 million people suffering from armed conflicts, forced displacement, disease, and hunger. Hanan?
And of course, I'd like to add that $528 million was pledged for humanitarian aid in the country at a donors conference in Geneva on Friday, the 13th of April, an event boycotted by Kinshasa. The Congolese government considered that the figures used as the basis of the meeting were overestimated and gave a poor image of the country. We'll now revisit this statement from Amnesty International with Jean Nobatsenga, who is a Democratic Republic of Congo researcher in the NGO. Nobatsenga, hello. As the president of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Joseph Kabila continues to ignore the international community's effort to bring peace and stability in his country. In the latest episode of the boycott of the International Donor Conference in Geneva, the Southern Africa Development Community, SADC, is preparing to meet on 17th and 18th April in Luanda, Angola, to discuss security in the region. What approach do you think SADC intends to use to get consent from Kinshasa? I think that there are two different but interesting things. It's true that you mentioned the international summit or conference held in Geneva last week, which the Democratic Republic of Congo boycotted. What is interesting, as Amnesty said in its statement, is that SADC and its leaders seem to be the last institutions to which the Congolese authorities really pay attention to. So there is a kind of reversal for DRC towards the actors in the region, and at the SADC level, which is the main regional bloc to which DRC belongs, at the African level for a kind of diplomatic repositioning. And that's where we tell Amnesty that SADC has a special responsibility, because we believe that it's among the very last institutions that Congolese authorities can really listen to and follow.
Les toutes dernières institutions que les autorités congolaises peuvent réellement écouter et suivre.
Mr. Senga, in its statement, Amnesty calls on SADC summit participants to show firmness and not to wear gloves when dealing with Congolese authorities. Do you think that the sub-regional organization should be more forceful?
Alors, la SADC a une charte et a des instruments juridiques.
SADC has a charter. It has legal instruments that are subject to taxation to all its members, including the Democratic Republic of Congo. What we are trying to say is that the situation in DRC is so serious, so dramatic in terms of human rights, but also in terms of security, humanitarian and political issues, that SADC can no longer be content to make yet another declaration, just another declaration which it will perhaps observe or commend some progress in the political process and in the electoral process. It's time for SADC leaders to show that they have understood the seriousness of the situation in the Democratic Republic of Congo, that they have recognized their responsibility, and it's time to take concrete action to spur things forward. If not, force the Congolese authorities to show respect of human rights, to respect civil and political rights and freedoms, and to organize a political process that is transparent, free and fair.
Jean-Norbert Sanga, lorsque vous dites qu'il est temps pour les dirigeants de la SADC...
So, you say it's time for SADC leaders to take concrete action. What are you alluding to?
Nous pensons, par exemple, que quand ils se réunissent ce mercredi,
we think that, for example, when they meet on Wednesday, SADC leaders should be clear with President Kabila. They must tell him that he must organize good elections. Not only organize elections, but organize good elections. At the end of the year, leave power, make a peaceful transfer of power. And that Congolese authorities must stop instrumentalizing armed groups and creating conflict here and there in the country, because it has beyond impact the lives of millions of Congolese and also has impact on the regional stability. We are not advocating for military intervention, but it also acts at a diplomatic level, at a political level that must be strong, and we should see courageous acts and sincere acts, because so far, SADC summits, decisions or discussions at the regional level have been rather mild, as if we were in denial of the gravity of the situation that is happening in the Democratic Republic of Congo. So, what if the government in Kinshasa turns a deaf ear to this? Well, here again, SADC must assume its responsibilities. It's not up to us to tell SADC what it can or cannot do. It has legal instruments, there are treaties that have been signed, there are different measures, different levers available to the community. It's not for us, Amnesty International, to say that these leaders should do this or can do that.
Nous allons devoir en rester là, Monsieur Norbert Senga.
We'll stop at that. Thank you so much, Jean Norbert Senga, for your clarity.
Chercheur au sein de Amnesty International en RDC.